Hi, everyone. I'm Jim Fitzsimmons. I'm joined today with Adam Miller, just here to give you an update as we finish up 2020. Today is December 22nd, 2020, just so we have that on the record. One thing I wanted to hit on was just COVID safety in general. And as everyone knows, we're still battling COVID. It's going to be here for a while. Luckily the vaccine's coming out, so there's finally light at the end of the tunnel sometime in 2021. But in the meantime, the best thing you could do is keep following the same precautions that we've been talking about, since March of this year, and we're going to continue to do the best we can and everything we can to keep our drivers safe, keep our mechanics safe, keep our office staff safe, and just keep managing through the exceptions as those come up. As we know more about the vaccine and how that might look as far as essential workers, obviously working for Swift Transportation means you're an essential worker. And so as we can, get vaccines, out for our drivers, our office, our mechanics, we'll communicate that as that happens. At this point, we don't have any good updates as far as what that might look like on a time frame. Adam, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, and I think, again, as Jim mentioned, just stay vigilant on the social distancing, just managing the exposure. I know we've been doing this for quite some time now, and it's easy to get lax on our efforts there, but looks like there's a light at the end of the tunnel with the vaccine coming out. So again, just appreciate all the work of just keeping our people safe. I'm gonna touch a little bit on 2020. I know it's a year that we probably won't soon forget, but would like to put in our rearview mirror. We've gone from, navigating an economic shutdown across the country where, loads were tough to come by and productivity was low. And then you saw surging demand with large retailers, while at the same time it was difficult for our industry to train and develop enough drivers to keep pace with just the normal attrition that we see in our space. And so that's probably going to remain a challenge. And so that could mean that capacity is going to be tight on a go forward basis. But I think looking back at 2020, I think the services that our drivers have provided our country are probably greater appreciated now more than ever. And I was reviewing some of the Swift transmission page this week and some of the posts on there, and just how proud so many of our driving associates are for delivering goods across America. And quite honestly, you should be. It came across as more of a civic duty rather than just performing the job. And those are the type of great people we have at Swift. And hey, I'm so proud to be associated with them. And we've done a great job helping America rebound from the economic slowdowns, and then to put us in a great position to continue to navigate through the pandemic that we're still faced with. I'm also proud of our shop and office employees who rose to the occasion and supported our drivers throughout the year, and did so remotely when need be, and those that had to be in the office were willing to do so, and put ourselves in a position where we could ultimately make 2020 one of the most successful years we've seen in Swift's history. And again, can't say enough about how much I appreciate the hard work of the men and women who've made this year so successful. But as you know, we're now in the throes of winter. We've already had a massive storm up in the Northeast. I think Jim's going to talk a little bit about some of the things that we can do to be safe in this type of weather.
Yeah. So in talking about 2020, Adam, it's kind of neat to see how much we continue to improve. And I was looking at some data this morning, and looking just over the last 3 years, we've improved our CSA crash basics over 70%, which is a huge, meaningful number. And so, 2020 was no exception, where we continued to outperform 2019, 2018, and I attribute, that to our hardworking men and women driving our trucks. And a lot of this comes down to the winter, time. And so you got to drive different when you get into winter, as most of you know. If it's your first time, driving in winter, make sure you understand the differences that you have to do, because it's no secret that when we get into the wintertime, we typically have, we have more jackknifes, more overturns, more ran off roads, just because drivers forget to adjust their speed for the conditions. And so if you ever get into a situation, we try to say this as often as we can, you're in control of that truck. And so if you ever feel that the situation you're in doesn't warrant you being on the road, by all means, we want you to get off the road and park the truck until you feel it's safe to go on. Now, the second part of that is we just need you to communicate so that if we do need to reschedule the load or possibly even repower the load, we have a chance to do so. But we're never, ever going to ask you to drive your truck in a condition that you feel is unsafe. And that could be fatigue as well. It doesn't have to be weather specifically. New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve both, we are asking our over-the-road drivers to shut down between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. Those are by far the worst hours of those 2 nights for incidents involving drunk drivers. And so we're trying to keep you safe out there. So if you could try to work that into your 10, please do so. We know we're going to have exceptions. There's fleets that are going to continue to run, through those periods of time, because we have to in order to provide service to the customer. And so on those case-by-case scenarios, just work with your driver leader or your operations leader for those exceptions. Adam?
Thanks, Jim. And hey, just looking forward to turning the page to 2021. We saw a real nice surge in demand and a great productivity improvements in the back half of 2020. And quite honestly, we expect that to continue. We review a lot of key metrics and data points, both externally and internally, and many indicate that the freight environment will remain unseasonably strong into the first half of the year in 2021. So we look forward to staying productive and putting our driving associates in a position where they can continue to be productive throughout the network and earn a nice paycheck. We also plan to make significant technology investments in 2021. So right now we're in the process of modernizing our operating system that our driver leaders use, and we believe that the system will give us more data, more insights that'll allow our driver leaders to help our drivers maximize the available hours that they can drive, as well as help provide more seamless communication. And so we look forward to rolling that out into 2021, and we think we'll see the benefit both on the office side, but for our driving associates. We're also excited about the investments we're making for telematics in the cab of the truck. We know that sometimes that can be frustrating. Some of the technology we have in the truck today is a bit antiquated. And what I tell you is we're currently testing some state-of-the-art technology that we believe will offer our driving associates an experience in the truck that is really second to none in the industry. And it's going to really enhance trip planning. It'll enhance the workflow, navigation, communication, and so much more. And so right now we've got several hundred trucks in our fleet that are outfitted with the new device. We're testing it. We know how important it is to our driving associates to have the better technology in the trucks, and we want to move quickly, but we also want to make sure it's done at a high level. And so I expect to have a healthy amount of our fleet with the new technology in the first half of this year, and then the remainder would be implemented over the back half of 2021. So I think that's some real exciting technology I think that our drivers can really look forward to. And lastly, I know 2020 certainly had its challenges, but there's still a lot to be grateful for. And I wish everyone and their loved ones to have a happy holiday season and a Merry Christmas. And again, I really look forward to turning the page into 2021 and making that even more successful than 2020. Just want to say thank you to all our hardworking men and women who've made Swift such a great company.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.